go from 10 to 1. All right. So,
Alrighty.
yeah, here is our top 10.
Mine's questionable.
We're actually pretty similar. Okay. We had
Actually.
6 to 1. We are actually the exact same, which is a bit
Okay,
spicy.
okay.
Uh,
Okay, I take that.
Also, if you have no idea what you're looking at, quick TLDR, I had a friend of mine. He had to draw every single logo of these teams in 3 minutes, knowing nothing about Rocket League, the team, or what they are. So we probably are going to have to go from like 10 to 1 to kind of explain what people would be looking at.
Look at that. I don't even know what I'm looking at. I've never even seen it.
Oh, God, some of them are obvious. Like, the bus makes
Actually, yeah,
sense.
the boss makes sense. Why is everyone always late?
Gotta be like, well, you can explain that. You're number 10. Explain to me your number 10.
Oh, well, I don't know how this works out. But my number 10 at the moment is Scrim's World.
Mm-hmm.
It is a bit questionable, but with the roster they got, I believe they can turn it around at the moment and push for like top 8. I believe a top 8's coming their way at least in the next 2 quals for sure.
So it's a
So I'm
top.
gonna vote 10.
It's a top 10 based on potential, then more so than like.
More it's like yeah they underperformed like you said a little bit, but I believe that was just the beginning. I reckon if because they showed a bit of confidence. I watched a couple of their games because they're good mates with Scrim's World, and they show potential like a lot throughout the series, and I just believe they're easily in my they're up there in my top 10. There's a couple other teams that I could chuck in there though for sure.
I think what concerns me about Scrim's World, because I'm with you. I think the talent is there. They'll bounce back, and they'll be a top 10 team. But the reason why I don't have that's the weird thing. Like, I think I would pick Scrim's World to get top 10 next regional. But if I'm doing my power rankings just based off this first week, they lost 0-3 to the bus, right? And the bus didn't make it through. They lost to Tiki Taka. They just squeaked in. Long Red Cordial. That series was close, credit there. But like the problem was against the sort of other bubble teams that we have to be comparing them against too, they won 1 out of 3. And then they had a tougher matchup against Long Red Cordial. Like, I don't know. I think the potential is there. Young team, obviously. Like, Matthew will adjust a bit more.
Trust me, he's got it.
Yeah, I do too. Like, actually, Matthew was not my question mark on that team. It would more so would have been Zen, but like I hear Zen's been cooking and working it, and if Zen is coming in with that like killer mentality that we know he used to have, I saw him streaming the other day. Team can shoot for it, so I do think they'll be back. It's just, yeah, I can't put him top 10 right now. I can't. Yeah. I had Cold. If I can bring back that image, I had Cold. Cold was my number 10.
All right, then. That's a good shout.
Again, I picked them as like a top 8 team by like the 3rd regional. They almost got it in the 1st, and that would have been insane. But I think, yeah, Cold. And I'm not just saying that because I saw them in the Twitch chat, because I had never heard of their name like 2 months ago, but Stainless. It's just every time I watch Stainless play, I'm like, okay, he knows what he's doing. Like,
he's consistent, very consistent. He seems to be the person in the right place at the right time at all times.
and that's kind of what like, and I think that consistency is something that like allows a player like Remick, who is also kind of all over the place, but like in a good way, to like really shine. Like, I don't know, I just like that synergy the two of them have.
I feel like it just gives Remick and Bauer to be a little bit more free in their play style with Stainless, who's he's a solid 3rd man. He'll hold his own. I think he's a little bit new coming in, or a bit. I don't really know much about him, but I've been impressed with him from what I've seen. That's all I can say.
This is his first like RLCS run. Like, he was a sub before, like a couple years ago, and he played like 1 game in like an old Swiss way back when. But like, this is the first serious team, so seeing him come up, step up, show up, like, yeah, I don't know. I've really liked what they look like, and again, their results. 3-1 win over That's Crazy, pretty good. Got past They Whom's Cooketh. Took a game off Tiki Taka, took a game off Long Red Cordial. The Tiki Taka game is the game they're going to have to win, right? If they want to get top 8, like, that's kind of what they have to overcome. Tiki Taka's got a big target on their back, I think, for a lot of these bubble scene teams.
And talking about Tiki Taka, they're my number 9 as well on my list for sure. Like, I don't believe. I don't know. Some games I wasn't really happy with they never fought. I'm not going to lie. Like, yeah, they won a couple.
Oh, yeah, they are your number 9.
They are 5th. But I feel like I should have put him at least 6th to 7th, maybe. But I just.
Well, I don't think you could justify yet putting them above some of those other teams.
Yeah, that's where I'm at the moment. Like, I believe the Barcelona Red Cordial topped them, but I don't think they had quite the run they needed where Tiki Taka just performed on the day.
So I don't put the bus above them. I definitely don't put the bus above them. Bus is my number 9. Like that's where we have some content. How can you put the bus above Tiki Taka when Tiki Taka beat the bus in the game that mattered?
I don't know.
Like,
I'm looking back at it, and I think I should have had him at least like up and down a little bit.
Dude, I was looking back at my list, and I actually don't like one of my ones. I actually think I'll get to it later, but I think I made a boo boo take.
I definitely did.
I made a couple boo boo takes, but not on this one. No, the bus is number 9, because 9 is like the best team that didn't get top 8, right? And for me, that's the bus.
I just like that team. I just believe they're just so solid, and I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, they underperform, but they're just like, I just think that a couple of these teams that I'm talking about right now just have that potential to just absolutely roll the people in front of them at the moment.
So I've got 2 minor bones to pick with the bus. Minor. First one, I still don't know how to rate Pagsy. I genuinely don't. Because it feels like in some matches he is, super disruptive, super deep, super aggressive, creating plays for the team, boom, top 4 finishes. And then other times he's just like invisible, and I don't know where he is. Like, I don't know what to make of Pagsy. So that's kind of my first one. I stand by what I'm saying. He's a Game 7 merchant. It feels like in the most clutch games he shows up, and that's invaluable. But like,
always there.
But like, I don't know. I still don't know where to place. If the bus had made top 8, I would be done doubting. If they had won that series against Tiki Taka, I'm like, I'm all in on Pagsy from now on. But didn't happen. And then Fades, no showing.
Fades.
Yeah, okay, now that's not like quote unquote official. Apparently it was family stuff happening, like he was being held back. But yeah, Fades, no showing. If you're dropping rounds via forfeit, that's pretty rough, man. I don't know how I could like put faith and trust in this team, even if it's out of Fade's control. Like, what am I supposed to do with that?
I like them. I really like that roster. Like, yeah, I believe they're going to be talented. And if Pagsy plays like Game 7 Merchant every series, every game, they will easily make top 8 for sure.
But they have to get to that.
That's
the problem. Like, they lost. Well, I mean,
that's so hard to say in OCE because a lot of teams underperform sometimes. It happens so regularly sometimes, in my opinion.
They lost to nothing better to do.
Oof.
Like, yeah, that one's a shocker. Granted, I'm giving them a little pass on that because that was after the forfeit. So going in, no warm-up time, no anything.
That's what I think could have cost them a little bit as well.
Like, yeah, that forfeit. Like, I think that forfeit cost them 2 rounds, right?
Yeah. No warm-up coming in. Plus, they got DQ'd from the Gremlins series. And then, they lost the second game, and that just knocked them down to completely on the back foot, which is hard to come back, especially in with stages and stuff.
Sour was in the chat. Sour, what happened in that Game 5? Because I haven't seen it. If you're still there, I want to know. Because in my eyes, like, yeah, that was the series that would have proven the bus as a top 8 team to me. And 1-3 doesn't look that good. I don't. That's right. By the way, my number 8 is Tiki Taka. By the way, which Game 5? There was no Game 5. Sorry, round 5 against the bus. That's what I'd like to know.
The one you won 3-1 was Game 4.
Yeah, it was a 1-3.
Well, if they did
Tiki Taka. No, I'm talking round 5, not Game 5. Round 5. Okay, whatever. Yeah, it did go 4 games. Yes, 1-3. Pagsy threw. See, he didn't get to Game 5.
Okay.
So there you go.
Okay, he summed up.
Yeah, and Pagsy threw. See, there it is. Like, that's what it. There it is again. I can't.
Okay, it's good to know it's community note. Okay, now come on now.
I don't know how to read. I don't know how to read Pagsy. I want to. You want to root for him. He's had some big RLCS moments, but my God, I don't know. Where's the consistency? Who was your 8 again? I got to bring this back up.
My 8, do be long red cordial, but if I could change it, I'll put long red cordial over the
Wait,
bus.
you put Bus in the top 7.
I know. That's what I was just saying. If I could change him, I would put him above the bus.
That's fair. Also,
I just was upset with how the bus performed. Like I should have put him lower, but I just believed it. If Pagsy performs, it's on.
yeah, but he didn't.
Just
And you know who did perform was Chris. You know who did perform was or CX I should say was Sour. They were the ones who performed. Yeah, Tiki Taka's my 8. Tiki Taka is it's definitely my So long red cordial at 8. That means to you they are that bubble team that could be knocked out. They could be knocked down.
A little bit. I reckon they could get knocked out of top 8. Top 16 definitely not.
Actually,
But
that would
top
yeah.
8, I think there's a couple teams that can top them off.
Well, let's go back then. Let's go back to that previous point. Like, which top 8 teams stay and which top 8 teams get knocked out? Where do we go with that?
This one's very tough.
Because I think Scrimsworld gets in, which means someone has to get knocked down, right?
I believe Scrims will get in.
Yeah.
And I'm biased, of course. Like I believe Physics is gonna make the absolute run of a lifetime. Like I'm just gonna say that.
Okay. So Physics is going from not even in the top 16 to top 8. Let's go.
Believe me. Trust me.
All right.
I think Miff's actually got a proper GPU now that works, so we're chilling.
Well, that will help. I got Fizz 6 right here, I think. 15. That's a good spot for Fizz 6. Anyways, continue.
I believe, I love Tiki Taka, but if they don't perform, I believe they could possibly get knocked out of top 8.
Again, they have the target. They have the target.
They're definitely a target.
See, that's where it gets hard. An argument can be made. There's only one spot available.
Yeah, there's only really one spot, the 2 spots. Long Red Cordial could also get knocked out. There's the only 2 spots that I can really think of that will be open for top 8. And there's so many teams fighting for it.
I see, but that's just it. We haven't seen Long Red Cordial. You have to look at sort of the 3 and 2 teams who they lost to. Gremlins, it was Ground Zero and Chiefs. Long Red Cordial, Power, Pioneers. Tiki Taka, Pioneers, Ground Zero. None of the top 8 teams lost to, got upset at any stage. You know what I mean? They all just won the games they were supposed to. The Tiki Taka versus Scrims 3-2. The fact that Scrims lost 2 Game 5s is why you could say maybe they're the ones who could knock off Tiki Taka or maybe Long Red Cordial. But I don't know. It's hard. That would be my shout. Would be Scrimsworld maybe over Tiki Taka, but I can't.
Gotta get top 8, but next.
I feel like they have to, but at that same token, how can you knock Tiki Taka because they were the best of the bubble? I didn't mean to click on the bus. I don't know. It was.
I've known PB for 3 years now. I think I've known this old fella for, and we've always watched Sour, Tonio, and Six. They're a talented roster. Very talented.
I think the big scary thing, and something that always goes a bit undervalued, is during the Swiss stage. Seeding is important, and just making sure you get your 3-0s, you win your 3-0s, and you win as decisively as possible to get those easier matchups. Because
which is the craziest tournament format, in my opinion.
I love it. Because, imagine if we had gotten, well, I guess we got it in round 3. I was going to say, but, Tiki Taka, because Tiki Taka beat Cold, beat the Bus. They would have beaten Soulja Boys. Yeah, Scrims just did themselves no favor with that 2-3 loss. And then, if they had 3-0'd, that's crazy. They don't play Long Red Cordial, right? Yeah. They play another maybe closer team. Exactly. And then they're not in this horrible situation now. And that doesn't explain what happened against the Bus. That still should be a match they win.
I reckon that was just their mental. That was just down and out after losing that. That's understandable. That's a thing. Matthews, in my opinion, he's still a bit young. And, after working with him for probably a year working with him, he's such a talented player. He can understand and adapt instantly in, one session. He just needs to work on his mental a little bit more, and I believe that team will make top 8 consistent. if they can just keep their mental strong, even if they lose. They just need to take it on the chest and move on. That's what I reckon.
I just crazy to think that that's crazy. The series Scrims World won is probably why they lost, which is Swiss for you. They didn't win by enough. Where were we? We're up to like 7, I think. Oh, that's my Twitter.
So yeah, I want to move on from my 7. I don't want to talk about.
Oh no, let's talk about your 7. Let's go.
Mine's the boss. Like,
yeah, beep beep.
I just believe they just.
You're riding the bus. There is no shame in riding the bus.
100%. I rate them so much. That's why I'm riding the bus. But come on.
See, for me, for me, my next 7 was Long Red Cordial, and they could have been higher. They could have been, maybe should have been higher, but, and maybe this is a little bit of results-based analysis. I click on this button here. I see 1 goal. And I go, yeah, power's busted. But if I have to, do a difference maker, I guess that's it.
How? We'll talk to them about them later, but they're just too good right now.
Yeah, no, they're too good. But, that is the only thing in my eyes separating Long Red Cordial from, all the way up to the top 3. All the way up, or, 7, 6, 5, 4. They are so close right now in my eyes.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know. Long Red Cordial, they were pretty good. They won the series they were supposed to win. They were competitive in Swiss in the ones that they didn't come through. They were still taking games. Scrimsworld gave them a challenge, but I don't know. Long Red Cordial, I still think they're an easy top 8 again. So that's where I sit.
Yeah.
Number 6. Now we're in agreement.
Yeah, are we both on the same boat here?
We're both on the same boat here until the end, but here's where I want to actually push back, because I think I let one series get a bit too much to my head, and if I was being honest with myself, Ground Zero would be higher. Ground Zero would probably be 4, if I were honest with myself. I would them up to 4. But I have them at 6 right now. But I have them at 6. Take a look again. That Ground Zero image makes no sense.
I'm comfortable leaving him at 6.
Yeah.
What is that Ground Zero image?
It's the ground. Its sign says 0, and it's here.
I believe Ground Zero are somewhat a solid 6. I don't think they top the Gremlins, in my opinion. That's just simple in my eyes. Because,
I mean, but they did top the Gremlins. Didn't they? Yeah, no, they spanked us round 4. Or was it? No, that's the Chiefs. Sorry, it was round 2?
I believe the Gremlins are better.
Yeah, no, here it is. Yeah, that's right. I cast this game. I was there. It happened. Gremlins.
They swept?
Yeah, it was a sweep. It was a Ground Zero sweep over Gremlins. Gremlins looked bad in Swiss. I'll say it. That was not their best performance. They looked bad in Swiss. They looked great on Saturday and Sunday. Even in their loss against Power, they looked great. But in Swiss, they looked bad. And realistically, as a result, I think I should have put the Gremlins at 6. I think I should have put Gremlins. Maybe not, though.
Nah, no way they're 6. No, Ground Zero are 6 in my
Laxton was so good, though. Laxton was so good.
But Laxton's always good.
No, he's not.
I love him.
Oh, I love him too. Don't get me wrong. Laxton on point is one of the best. But remember Laxton last season?
It was a bit rough.
It wasn't the best. It wasn't the best. And this is a bit of a redemption year for him. And I think so far he's lived up to it. Laxton was absolutely cooking all throughout the Swiss stage. And even against the Pioneers in the series they lost, I thought Laxton was stepping up. Yeah, Laxton is a freak. So
Cobo said every game against the Ground Zero roster was one.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I did.
Oh my god, my English just fried my brain just reading that. Holy.
All right, Cabo, look.
Please.
I'm just going to bring back my overall power rankings, and you can see I'm still right up there, all right? There you go. We each have you at 5.
Yeah, I believe Gremlins are 5th. I believe Gremlins can beat Chiefs again.
I do too. Oh, I do too.
They weren't playing the best, and they were still going good against them. I reckon Gremlins can roll the Chiefs. I'm not
Roll the Chiefs.
I wouldn't say roll. I wouldn't say roll, but it would be like I reckon 3-1, 3-2.
I think they could beat. I think the Gremlins like. So that power series, they looked fantastic.
Yeah.
That power series, they looked good. Like, I thought they looked really good, but power was just, like, nobody was beating power that day. No, nobody.
If power's on, power's on.
Yeah, and that's a terrifying thing. But that Gremlin series against the Chiefs, like, I don't know. If you go back and listen to my reaction with that, like, I was saying, like, hold on, at the very start of it, like game 1, especially game 2, and like game 3, I was like, okay, no, this is so winnable. This is so winnable with how they're playing right now. And I feel like that carried over to Sunday. I didn't have that same feeling on Saturday for whatever reason it was. Saturday was very rocky in my eyes. And I don't know, Cabo will give me grief for it. That's fine, whatever. But from what it looked like.
With even how Gremlins played, like, yeah, they did play up to, like, the full standard. Like, but they still got third. You got to appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Like,
that top 4 finish is massive. I thought they showed versus Power. I thought they looked better in Power than they did in their wins on Friday. Like, I thought they looked that good. And this is a weird thing. But Cabo getting, like, based on the tweets, being upset that you lost to Power and being like, damn it, we could have won that. Damn it, that fire is there. Like, they didn't just roll over. It's like, oh, it's Power, Humdy-Dum. No, they were hungry. I love that.
It's confidence. What you want.
Exactly. I love that. So
go into every game thinking you can win, knowing that you can roll them. Do it. That's the best way to go into it. Keep that mindset and play your ball.
Yeah, absolutely. So I am here for the Gremlins. And I think I'm going to be there rooting for them, obviously, to see them hit that top 2. I want to see them in a final. But it's going to be tough. I think the best way to get a top 2 is to get a bracket half that doesn't have Power in it.
Yeah, no, I believe they're going to get that bracket this time out. And hopefully they do. I believe they're going to.
You got to 3-0. You have to 3-0 somehow. And, like, that's the big thing, especially for the teams, like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Win 3-0s. You've got to sweep. You've got to keep your seeding as high as possible so you finish in that second or 3 1/3 seed, so you're, like, avoiding Power, right? Like, that's kind of what it's turning into. They are spooky. Number 4, we each agreed that we each had Chiefs at 4. And did we overrate them?
I believe they underperformed for sure.
I don't. So I watched that series. Chiefs were good. I don't think the Chiefs. I think the result is an underperformance, but it was not like they were playing badly.
They got the players. I can tell you that. They got the players, but I feel like there was just a couple of times where there was so many opportunities and it's just not happening.
So, like, I don't know. Like, I don't. You can go back and you can look at the Gus whiff, and that led to the 0-second goal, right? Like, that was awkward.
Gus is a goat, though. I'll rate you.
And I agree. And I think that was a OCE moment. Lock it in. It's happened. Outside of that play, I thought the Chiefs played fantastic.
Yeah, there was just like I believe they're going to be consistently top 4 for sure. Yeah. I believe they're going to be one of the main teams up there. I believe top 4, potentially like top 3s are going to be between Chiefs, Carkers, and Gremlins for the time being. For sure. I don't know if KCP, some teams will beat this season for sure.
Yeah.
Power, I just don't know if they play off. Yeah, maybe, but if they're on again, I don't know if they would be beat.
Power.
They're so strong.
I don't know how you stop Power. Like I don't know. We're still at 4. So Chiefs, you think even though they lost to the Gremlins, even though they went 3-1 to qualify and they lost to was it Kaka's Minions? Yeah, 3-0 to 0-3 to Kaka's Minions. Still at 4. It's just the strength of the roster, right? It's so hard to overlook that.
Yeah, like they've got the players for sure.
And it's not. Yeah, and it's not like in the past with OCE too, where we've seen situations where, like, you know, a top 2 team bombs out early. I mean, that was kind of like Power's MO before. If CJ doesn't jinx them, they'll be fine.
Modi.
True.
Oh, you gotta watch some of Modi's videos, bro. he's actually so talented.
I believe it.
Content creation, like he does not goes. They're so good.
Dude, I don't know if people did, but like the 0-second goal comparison of like CJ's reaction versus mine.
Bro,
So good.
I hopped into CJ's stream after it, and he was showing the clip again on stream, and it was the funniest thing I've ever seen. He was cut.
Dude, he was
not happy.
heartbroken that the Chiefs failed. They got him deep. So
Like
good
he took
on.
a bullet.
Yeah.
No, he's so entertaining. You gotta rate CJ. He's so good.
OCE Border Patrol.
Oh, I rate
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, we rate it.
Top 16 coming.
Hey, hold on. You can go back and check the VOD. You did not have them. Actually,
I didn't have him.
No, neither of us had them making it. We were each just like, yeah, but all these other teams, though.
It's just so tough because there's so many teams that I believe have that roster that can upset some teams this season.
Yeah.
There's so many.
It's so cool.
I reckon from like 7th down to potentially 18th, 20th are like strong teams that I reckon can get top 16s.
Yeah, it's scary. It's actually scary how.
I believe Bougie, and if Bougie sticks with his roster, I believe that roster can definitely push through a top 16.
I believe in Sparrow.
Oh, he's goat.
I believe in Sparrow. That's like
Can't diss Ranger though. You can't diss the fat Ranger. He goes ham.
All right, number 3. We each had Kaka's minions. Let's talk Kaka's minions. Let's talk about the team that absolutely blitzed the Swiss stage, blitzed on Saturday, which in the past that had been their Achilles heel. They would like never show up on Saturday.
Hmm?
And then what happened Sunday? What happened against the Pioneers, man? Because I missed the start. I only saw the end. I was busy with Power Gremlins. So I came in for the second half when things were like, oh my gosh, minions are reverse sweeping. What led to the slow start there?
No, yeah, I don't know how it happened. It just came out of nowhere. I thought, Kaka's minions were coming back. Like I was losing my mind when they started losing games. I didn't know what they were doing. They weren't playing the game anymore. They just lost the ice and it just nearly threw the entire series. In my opinion,
So the big thing I was noticing was Shores actually was like the standout player in my eyes kind of throughout all the clips and like everything I saw from them, because when I look at the team's roster, right, Kaka obviously has the international experience now. Back when this team was formed before under like Ground Zero and the likes, like he was sort of the focal point. Finn had like games where he could take over and games where he was invisible, and Shores was kind of, I don't want to say just there, that's a little bit disrespectful. Shores was consistent but wasn't pop, like wasn't the focal point of the team.
Yeah.
Shores was that guy, from what I understand, throughout a lot of their run. Like, Shores was stepping up and then some. So, like, I feel if Shores is now playing at, like, a consistent, top caliber level, this team could probably take a regional. Like, seriously.
I believe Kaka's minions have at least a top 2 coming this season, for sure. If they keep with this roster and keep going.
See, but not
Kaka's
every team could get a
experience.
top 2 finish, though. This is where now we're starting to get into like the because it's like
there's not much on.
No.
They got rid of the whole.
We lose out on 3 regionals, right?
Yeah, there's one less now, so it's so much tougher. So it sucks.
It sucks. So because I have to assume Power's going to be in every final at minimum.
I believe.
Hey Fades, how you going?
Power's making every final. I believe it, unless they have one of the worst performances of their life out of nowhere. I believe they're making finals.
So you have to believe Power's making finals every single
Top 2,
time.
No matter what.
Pioneers are going to be that favorite for the number 2 spot. By the way, we each had Pioneers at number 2. Shock all. But it's a sketchy number 2.
It's it's a tightrope. It's a tightrope. There's at least 2 teams, if not 3 teams, that can knock them out right now.
Yeah, we can actually play that game. Like, who do we see realistically in a best of 7 can beat the Pioneers? Like, Power, obviously. Kakas.
Power.
I'd say Chiefs could take him down if Chiefs are having a good day.
Chiefs are on, I believe. I believe if Hunter, plays how we... Yeah. If Hunter's on...
But then let's go to, 5 and 6. Can Ground Zero? I think they can. Ground Zero proved that they could. Can the Gremlins?
The Gremlins, I reckon... They possibly could. They underperformed a little bit in my eyes. They got 3rd place, but they didn't play how they were, how they should be playing. Like, I believe Gremlins are easily close to knocking out Chiefs from top 4 in my list.
I think I need to see the Gremlins win another series like they did against the Chiefs. Like I want to see them beat. I want to see Gremlins versus Long Red Cordial. I think that would answer so many questions I have about both those teams. And I know Bougie and I were each just like clamoring for it. Like, we want this match. We want this match. That would answer so many questions I have about both sides. A lot more about the Gremlins, though. Because if the Gremlins can take care of business against Long Red Cordial, I think I'm all in on them. Like, yeah, we're going to get a top 2 at some stage. And I know Long Red Cordial isn't one of the top 2 teams, but it tells me that, like, they are that cut above. But at the same token, I think Long Red Cordial, if you looked at it, they could also take, like, could Long Red Cordial beat the Pioneers? Do you think that they could put together, like, a full series against them? And I don't know yet. After seeing that Power series, I don't know yet.
A lot of teams can take games off, like, the top from 2 to 4. I believe a lot of the teams in the top 8 mark to top 16 mark can take at least 2 to 3 games, if not win the series, if they're on their day. Like, I don't believe there's that much gap from second down to top 8 at all this season, especially because the teams are jumboed all over the shop. But about the ground zero as well, I just don't think they have that experience as of yet to make that top 4.
Yeah. Okay.
I just think with the way ground zero is, and I know that roster personally, like, I believe ground zero will build this roster up, but I don't think they're quite there yet. That's like a very yet, because I believe in a couple, if not the next qual or the qual after it, I believe they're back in it.
Something about that Gremlins Ground Zero series, man. I just jumped on and I'm riding that hype train. After how badly Laxton, like, kind of just was able to perform and do what he could. I don't know. Maybe I'm star-tinted glasses, but I think Ground Zero could have beaten Pioneers. I could see Ground Zero getting up there. I think...
Yeah, I believe they can, but I just want to see it.
I want to see Ground Zero versus Kaka's Minions. See, like, let's start talking, like, the dream matches I want to see at the end of this one, right? I want to see Chiefs Pioneers. I want to see Kaka's Minions Ground Zero. I want to see Gremlins Long Red Cordial, because I reckon all that would be good. And for some whatever reason, I don't know, let's have Power play Fizz 6. I think that would be funny. Like, those are the 4 matches I want.
You want number 1 seed against what, number 24 seed?
Yeah, it'll be funny. It'll be funny.
Yeah, we'll go ahead. I believe our boys will come back. I believe them. But I don't know about Power. Power is so strong right now.
Oh, yeah, by the way, Power number 1.
Yeah,
Power's number 1 team. Shock, what does it matter? I mean, like, they dropped 3 games the entire event.
Sorry.
Like, what do you do
How
against
can you not
that?
say to number 1?
They lost to Long Red Cordial, they lost to Ground Zero, and then they lost 1 game against the Pioneers. That was it. Those are their only 3 individual game losses.
It's ridiculous, that one.
Yeah. That was one of their most dominant. Like, it wasn't quite Ground Zero this time last year, but it was close, right? Like, I feel like that's like the second most dominant sort of showing since like the RLCS X Plus era in a regional event. It'd be the number 2.
Definitely up there. Oh. See, I like Kakas, but I guess because I watched this game personally because I'm casting it. Their series against Fizz 6, yeah, it was a sweep, but there wasn't much between the 2 teams. Believe it or not.
I believe it.
Like, the VOD's up. People go say it. I think the first 2 games was only 1 goal between them, which, in my opinion, is a W for us. That's a good learning experience. We're getting there.
True.
But they're such a... Like, if they play... Like, Kaka, you can't complain. Like, Kaka is just Kaka.
Yeah.
And if Shores is on, Shores is on. And Finn is just consistent. Like, they're such a good team. But I feel like sometimes they underperform or they underestimate some teams and they get caught out very early and could possibly drop 2 games and lose that momentum.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. It's tough.
It is. I don't see Power losing.
Power don't lose. No way. I don't think they'll drop a series again next Open. And
now Power's going to lose in the quarterfinals next round because that's how OCE works. Look, I'm going to bring up our Power rankings one last time for one last go through it just so people can understand. My end, it was Cold, The Bus, Tiki Taka, Long Red Cordial, Ground Zero, Gremlins, Chiefs, Kaka's Minions, Quick Trip Pioneers, and then Power at the end. Yours only difference with that first 4. You had Scrims World, Tiki Taka, Long Red Cordial, the bus up there at number 7.
Shut up. Don't giggle it.
I can't. It's just you got to stand by it.
Believe, watch it.
I'm watching. You didn't even have your own team in the top. If you're gonna put the bus at 7, you may as well put it Fizz 6 at 10.
Like, I believe my boys will get a top 8 this season for sure. But with I hate to say it because I own New York, but they underperform. They know that. We've talked about it. But I know them personally and how they play the game, and I can guarantee a top 8 coming for sure this season.
Guarantee. All right. Do we
guarantee
put what wager? What wager do we put on this? Come on, we gotta have a wager. If you're that confident, if you're
I'm
that,
in the middle of setting up a tournament, bro. That's where my money's going to.
No, we don't need to put money. Don't need to put money. We can be
wager.
Yeah. What do we got? What
do you
awards
want me
are
to
top?
do?
I don't know. Well, what would you want me to do? I'm on the other end because I'm saying no, right?
Oh God, I don't know. It has to be something easy. TikTok, Twitter, whatever you want.
Dude, one of us has to. I mean, we could do the generic shave the facial, but I do that like once a week anyways.
Nah.
All
That's
right.
too far.
All right, that's too much.
No, it's way too far. This is an icon.
All right. I can't mess with the moneymaker. That's fair.
50 smacks, physics, top 10. I rate that. That's confidence.
Hold on. You have to define top 10 because when he calls 9th, I could call 11th. All right. That had some.
I reckon I've got top 16 this next Open for sure.
I agree.
Yep.
I'm not taking that. That's too easy. That's too easy.
That's
I like the top 8 shout. Like that's.
I believe top 8 is very possible with that roster.
All right, we'll see. We'll see how the next one goes. All right, you get top 8. Gremlins will get a top 2 final.
Gremlins, please surprise me even more, please.
Yeah, let's do it. I mean,
the community is there for you.
Oh, dude, if they could take it, if they could go all the way with it, we believe. Anyways, I think that's the hour. I put aside an hour. I'm not going to take up any more time. So thanks for listening to us ramble. Thanks for making us feel like our opinions matter on this stuff. But yeah, I don't know. Any final words, man? Anything you have coming up? You said a tournament. Let's talk about what is that?
Can't really release much info.
Oh, okay.
Hidden tournament. And dates ain't announced yet because we're still working on that, trying to work around with RLCS and another couple of community tournaments that we're good mates with. So we're trying to work around, but it's the biggest freestyle tourney in OCE, and the prize pool at the moment is only at 300 climbing. I believe it's going to be a near $1,000 mark for some reason. But yeah, so we're just hosting something for the freestyle community because there's nothing that happens in OCE for freestylers, in my opinion. But there's going to be normal tournaments coming up, 3v3 tourneys, like rank ones coming up soon as well.
Cool.
Things in the work.
Well, that sounds pretty sick. I think for my own end, on my YouTube channel, I'm going to start uploading a couple little things. My plan, if things go together, and it never does, but if it does go together, tomorrow, I like that idea I had before. I'm going to go the top 10, maybe 5, top X regional performances from teams. So, we know what number one's going to be that ground 0-1, but I would kind of want to go through and have a look back at the history of the top regional winners and kind of rank them. That could be pretty fun. And then on Thursday again, I'm looking to probably do a run through of how I predict either Thursday or no, Friday is when that comes out. Friday I'll do the run through on the Swiss. I'll have YouTube videos coming out, so check that out. Still just trying to do things. I want to keep trying to make that content, right, on that grind. So if you haven't already, check out the YouTube channel and ignore all the baseball stuff. Just ignore the baseball stuff. Same thing on this Twitch channel. Just ignore the baseball stuff. That's not for you. That's for me.
No, the baseball stuff is lit.
The baseball stuff is...
I've been watching a couple butters.
It's just my friends and I talking shit. That's literally all it is. All right. I'm going to do a raid now. We're going to raid RLZonix. I have no idea who he is, but he's saying that he's grinding for an RLCS team, so let's wish him luck.
You gotta give him some love.
What is up with the baseball stuff? There's so much. Okay, the quick TLDR on the baseball. Super Mega Baseball 4 has a great team customization thing. So me and a bunch of my friends, we all made, teams, and then we just have the AI play each other while we talk shit and yell at each other. That's what it is. Like that's literally what it is. I just stream it on Twitch because it's a way for them to watch.
And it's like mod saves and everything, bro. It's perfect.
Oh yeah, dude, I keep track of stats and everything. I do power rankings. I go in.
It's just like a management league, like football management and stuff, bro. That's all it is.
Yeah, except the problem is they can't do anything. I'm the only one who can do it.
Oh, so they gotta go for you.
No, they're just watching. They're literally just watching. It is, yeah.
It's your boys, though.
Yeah, exactly. It's just me hanging out with the boys. It's a good time.
Oh.
And I'm actually probably gonna stream baseball in a couple hours later tonight. So there you go. All right, have a good one. We're rating Zonix. Wish him luck on his RLCS run. Thanks for tuning in. I'm gonna be helping to do this on Mondays in the future. Lumids, you're always welcome to join. Might get other people to join in as well. People are messaging me asking if they could come on. The answer is going to be yes, just not for this one, but for the next one, absolutely. So we'll check it and have a good day. Be your best self.
Scrim World, top 16, top 8.
Yeah, Scrims World all the way. Get it.